Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your January 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I actually won't be offering those at the time I'm first posting this video, but when we actually do get into January, I will have them opened up again by then. So if you're interested in that, just check out the description of the video for more information there. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always. I think we got a couple extra cards there. And then we have some oracle cards to take a look at after that, and a mudra card. So getting started with the main spread. Main situation position, we have King of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So there's a few different ways this could be playing out. This is actually a court card of Aquarius. And then this is actually a card that represents the first 10 degrees of Taurus. So on the one hand, there's a bit of a connection there as far as Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is actually in these degrees of Taurus right now. And it will be going direct in January as well. So for you guys, that's your house of work, daily routines, and health. So for some of you, this could just be as simple as saying that you decide, all right, as soon as January kicks in, right, you're going to take charge of your health, right? If you feel like your health hasn't been as optimal as you'd like it to be, then this could be, all right, well, once January kicks in, I'm going to take on this fitness program, right? For some of you, you might actually go see a doctor regarding a long-standing medical issue that you may have had in order to see, what ways you can get treatment for it. For some of you who might be getting a minor surgery or something along those lines. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there for some of you. Another way this could be playing out, this does point to communication for you guys because Aquarius is your third house of communication. So this could just be saying that maybe there's someone that you've recently had a falling out with. And I get the feeling that if that's the case, it could be one of those situations where you're not willing to move forward yet to be the first one to reach out to the person. So that could be what's at play there. And that would most likely be a friendship for most of you if that's the case, though, because if we look at the flip side of the fact that Aquarius is your third house, Aquarius is the natural ruler of the 11th house, which is friends, groups. So that could be what's at play there. And for some of you, this can actually be a boss as well. That may be, since the 6th house is also regarding workplace, maybe this is you actually wanting to confront your boss about your pay. Maybe you feel that you're not being paid as well as you should be, right? Maybe they even promised you, oh, all right, when 2020 comes around, we give you a pay increase, right? So maybe you're just holding them accountable for that, because if 2020 rolls around and they still haven't, they still are trying to put off the raise or all of a sudden just stop talking about it completely, this might be you going in to address it with them and, taking a bit of a harsh stance toward them regarding the situation. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So when the Three of Wands is in upright, we often refer to it as the waiting for your ships to come in energy. And usually that would just mean that, this is someone who feels that they put in some work, right? They put something out there and now they're going to wait for the results to come to them. So given that it's in reverse, this could just be saying that you're not in that energy anymore, or at the very least it's saying that since it is in a challenge position, it could be saying that that's what you're being nudged to do. Again, like I said, whether this is addressing your health in some way, shape, or form, maybe working with a boss that you feel like, you should get a pay increase. It looks like the energy at play here is saying that you actually should take action toward that, whatever it's regarding. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this could just be, again, pointing to maybe you've been pinching pennies because you feel like you're not being paid enough at your current job. And for some of you, this could even be saying that maybe you've been saving up for the event in case you decide to just leave the job and look for another job. But either way, this is a Capricorn energy. It represents the last 10 degrees of Capricorn, and that's actually going to be where we have that Saturn and Pluto conjunction. So And given that Capricorn is your second house of finances, this could just really have you really evaluating your finances in general too. Maybe even looking at ways where maybe you can invest your money. Some people refer to the Four of Pentacles as a miser card, but I just view it as a combination of Saturn and Mercury energy, which is, really putting a lot of thought into, okay, how can I get the best value out of my resources, right? So for some of you, it could be your actual money. For others of you, it could be your time, right? Maybe, again, especially like I said, with that energy going on with your sixth house, maybe you're reevaluating your daily routine and trying to maximize that. And if this is someone you've had a falling out with too, since we did mention that potential, this could just be pointing to what I was saying, where, you could just be a bit closed off and not ready to be the one to make a step toward them first. In the past energy, we have the Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. So this is actually a card that represents the first 10 degrees of Gemini, and then this is a card that represents the middle 10 degrees of Capricorn. So what this could be saying for some of you is even that maybe around the time of Gemini, you felt like you were stuck financially, right? Maybe you felt like you couldn't make any progress. You couldn't build up your finances at that time. And maybe that was even for some of you when that discussion was had, right? And maybe they said to you, oh, well, we know right now we can't really give you more, but as soon as we get to 2020, we'll give you a pay raise, right? Or, oh, maybe you're expecting some kind of a holiday bonus, right? That could be what's at play there. For others of you, since this does represent your opposite sign, which is related to relationships, it could just be saying that, maybe you felt like you couldn't move forward towards building a stable relationship. So if that's the case, I feel like with this being underneath, there probably was a desire to do so, but for whatever reason, you felt like you couldn't move toward that. And maybe it was even because of your financial struggles, actually. Now I think about it, maybe you felt like, oh, financially you weren't in a good enough place to actually be in a relationship. Some people do view relationships in that way where they want to make sure other areas of their life are all secure, and then they'll, dedicate themselves to a love relationship. The present position, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is actually the court card for Cancer. And for you guys, that's your 8th house. So again, that can just be pointing to what we were saying there, where maybe you feel like your employer might be holding up resources that you feel are owed to you, right? A raise, a bonus, whatever the case may be. There is going to be that eclipse there, so that could be what this is pointing to as far as watch out for that particular time period. I think that'll be around the 11th of January, maybe the 12th or so. That, there could be some significance there as far as seeing a shift in that area. Let me see if anything else comes to mind. And again, if this is related to relationships as well, it still does seem like you're a bit closed off because, of all the cards in the cup suit, this is the only one with a closed off cup. So it could just be going back to what I was saying there, where maybe there's this desire to build a relationship with someone, but maybe you're just holding back. And maybe it's even this person that you might have had a falling out with in the past, right? Air sign, most likely, an Aquarius, if that's the case. You just, for whatever reason, haven't felt ready to move toward them. All right, in the near future position, we have the Seven of Wands. So this is actually a Leo energy, represents the last 10 degrees of Leo, and for you guys, that's your 9th house, and you guys are natural rulers of the 9th house, so you're comfortable in that energy. But for some of you, this could just represent, regarding whatever this case may be, whatever the scenario is, if it's a relationship, a workplace thing, whatever, it looks like you're actually taking action now in the near future position. So that's definitely good. It looks like you're coming out of that energy of maybe instead of waiting around for someone else to make the move, you would be the one making the move in whatever area of life it may be. And, I do have to say in a way that could make sense because we're going to have Mars moving into your sign pretty early on in the month. So maybe for some of you, you felt like you couldn't move forward with certain things because of Mars being in your 12th. Sometimes that could be a bit of a draining energy. So maybe that's at play there for some of you. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Hermit and we have the Emperor. So this is actually the major arcana card for Aries, and then this is the major arcana card for Virgo. So this could be playing out a few different ways. Now, for some of you, given that Virgo is your 10th house of career, and then the Emperor I view sometimes as a boss energy, this could just be saying that you're really trying to look into, how you could achieve that status in your career, right? And maybe that's what some of this has been about too. Maybe this is you coming at realization that, all right, well, I'm currently not making enough money. What can I do, right, as far as changing up your daily routine? What can I do to take that next level up in my career? So that could be what you guys are really evaluating right now. And again, what I was saying with Mars moving into your sign, since actually Aries is ruled by Mars, that could even be pointing to that, saying that having Mars in your sign is what actually nudged you forward to look into this and try to take that action, and throw that energy toward your career and improving it. And for others of you, this could just be saying that this is pointing to you really scrutinizing your boss if you feel like they're withholding something from you, in this case, most likely finances. And I do have to say, actually, Aries is your 5th house too, so this could even just be saying that this is you reevaluating maybe how you approach love relationships too. That could be another way it's playing out. In the environment position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is actually a court card for your energy, Sagittarius. So this could just be saying, again, like I said, especially if you combine the fact that Mars will be in your sign, this could just be saying that the environment around you is just nudging you forward to take action, right? So if we combine those two transits, Mars moving into your sign and your ruler, Jupiter, moving into your 2nd house, right? You combine those two energies, then naturally would say taking action toward finances, right? We could see the two, how they could add up in that regard. But for some of you, this could represent travel, of course, and it doesn't necessarily have to be you, even though it is the court card that represents your sign. Maybe there's someone in your environment that you view in this way as well. So, and given that they're running toward that 7 of Wands, this might actually represent the energy of someone else, So maybe again, you address the situation regarding your workplace. You feel like you're not being paid enough, and then your boss starts to defend themselves with all the reasons why they can't necessarily do it. I do have to say, if it is someone else's energy here, keep in mind that this 7 of Wands energy often does come out victorious. So maybe they actually have a legitimate reason for why they're not able to give you more, and then maybe they let you know, well, you'd have to, take some certifications or something, right? Because the Hermit can sometimes be seen as a card of learning, education. So maybe they give you a plan, right, of how you could get to that next level in your pay, but it might require that you have to, do some official stuff. At the bottom of the deck, too, we have the 2 of Wands. So this is actually the card that represents the first 10 degrees of Aries. So this could just be pointing to, once again, you guys being ready to take action. Like I said, instead of that 3 of Wands energy waiting for things to come to you, it looks like you guys are going more on the attack this month. Hopes or fears, we have the 6 of Swords. So this is actually an Aquarius energy and usually is referred to as moving to calmer waters. So for some of you, this can be around communication, because we did mention that possibility as well, where maybe you're actually hoping to get a connection back on track. Because like we said, let's say that 5 of Pentacles under the King of Swords is saying that you've had a falling out with someone. You seem to be a bit closed off, or at least down here we're seeing that. And now with all this Mars energy coming into play for you, maybe you guys are actually deciding, you know what, let me put forth an effort to actually get the connection back on track. So that could be what's at play there. And then in the outcome position, we do see the Page of Swords. So another indicator that you guys will definitely be communicating and reaching out to someone. It can be via social media too, because I always point out to people how those 2 trees in the background, they remind me of the Facebook F. So it could just be saying that somebody could be communicating via social media to this person. Maybe you haven't heard from them in a while, or maybe that argument took place a while ago, but for whatever reason, maybe you feel a need to reach back out to them. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing some communication coming through. Now, what I do say with the page energy is it gives me that one foot in, one foot out vibe. If we look at their stance, they quite literally have that kind of vibe. And then look at the way he's holding the sword, right? He doesn't look fully comfortable with it because he hasn't reached a knight level yet or a queen, king, so it's kind of showing a little bit of inexperience. So there could be some hesitation on your part to communicate. Or if this is someone else communicating to you, there could be a bit of hesitation. I do feel like there will be honesty involved, but again, it could just be a little, shyness or nervousness around doing it. All right, moving on to your oracle cards. The first one we have is Milk and Honey. There's the artwork, and the number is 51. Okay, it says the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. The oracle's message: you've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. So, pretty positive message there, and hopefully that does resonate with you guys. Once again, like I said, probably just having Mars come into your sign this month is going to energize you. Good timing, because I know people like to start new things and, get a whole different vibe going for themselves in the new year, so that should help you with that. The relationship message says sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among friends and family are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you'll be nourished with the honey of abundance. So, definitely a pretty good message there as well. There's not really anything going on in your 7th house or even really your 5th house for the most part. Like we said, the ruler of Aries will be in your sign, but as far as Aries itself, there's not really going to be much going on there. But maybe this is just you guys getting a spark back in your connection, and maybe it's even from the absence that you guys had from each other for a while, right? Maybe you're just ready to throw yourself back into that now. All right. The prosperity message says there is only one authentic you. This version of yourself is Spirit's emissary in the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. So again, definitely a pretty positive message there as well. So hopefully those did resonate with you guys. And then moving on to the next oracle deck, we have White Raven Spirit. It says trust in the magic. There's the artwork, and the number is 66. Alright, it says nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and White Raven Spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you, an ally to you and a messenger from Spirit. Align with the light, and you will start to recognize that all is working together harmoniously in ways the eyes can't see and the mind can't always comprehend. The universe is conspiring on your behalf right now, drawing you to the light and bringing you the magic and miracles that are your birthright. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to how things come together as if by magic, and you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging things in your favor. So, once again, definitely a good message there. Like I said, with all the action you might be taking with Mars in your sign, it looks like there's definitely going to be some supportive energies in your environment too, as far as helping you get things on track. All right, and then the last thing we have is a mudra card for your sign, and the mudra you guys got this month is Jnana mudra. That's it there. And the keyword for it is wisdom. Okay, there's some information on it there. Under benefits, it says evokes the feelings of lightness, calms the mind and brightens the spirit, opens the chest and facilitates diaphragmatic breathing, reverses the outward flow of prana and directs energy back toward the body, increases the benefit of any asana. So, actually, also there's a note here if you guys wanted to look at that. You can either pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But if you feel like this would be a beneficial mudra for you, I will put the name of it in the description of the video so you can look into it further. We'll wrap up there, guys. Happy New Year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.